what up, guys? I want to talk to you about Los Angeles Clippers going up against the Denver Nuggets in the best of 7 series, all right? It's coming up, it's going to go down. So I thought I'd do a comparison of breaking down each team, what they got, and what advantages a certain team have, in my opinion. Okay? Now you got the superstars. You got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard versus the Joker and Jamal Murray, right? Now, the Joker is a bona fide all-star. I wouldn't say he's a superstar. Neither would I say Jamal Murray. So they got their work cut out for them. And, man, I'm going to give that edge all the way to the Los Angeles Clippers. Because they got a top 5 best player in the game in Kawhi Leonard. And Paul George is not a superstar. But he is a perfect second option. Now, we all know Paul George as being the number 1 is not a cool option. You don't want Paul George being your number 1 option. But as a sidekick, a number 2 all-star, that's perfect. Then it goes down to the starting lineups. Okay? Now, the Denver Nuggets starting lineup versus the Clippers starting lineup, I'm going to give the edge to the Los Angeles Clippers. So that's another point that they get, man, because they can switch rotations too. But with Zubac in there, I mean, he's not better than the Joker, but he's a good complementary piece to what they do because they like playing defense. And I mean, he gets in the post, and Kawhi Leonard feeds him sometimes. But Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, man, that's a good tandem. And you got your defensive minded guards. You also got Pat Bev. Hopefully he'd be playing in this series. But he's a defensive minded guard, and he's perfect. They're gonna need him for the series, so he's perfect for that. The Denver Nuggets starting lineup don't oppress me too much because they don't play Michael Porter Jr. They should start Michael Porter Jr. They're deep though. They are deep. I give them that credit. They are deep. And they're so deep that they run out of space to make certain players start. So that's why I think that come this offseason, they should make some trades because a lot of guys would be unhappy with their role. They literally have to have guys get hurt for certain guys to get, playing time. And that's bad, man. That's when you really need to make a trade. But the bench, I'm going with the Clippers as well because you got 2 6 Man of the Year candidates with Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams. You roll that in one, that's a perfect bench. Then you got the good complementary pieces. You got Reggie Jackson. You got all these other guys come off the bench that help out a lot. But I think the Clippers got the bench in the NBA, and that gives them the edge over a lot of stuff. So I got the Clippers in that too. And then it comes down to coaching. Now, Doc Rivers got a chip, and I like the way he does his defensive rotation. So I'm giving Doc Rivers the edge. And plus, he led that Clippers team to the playoffs without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, with no All-Stars. So without a doubt, definitely I'm giving that to the Clippers. Then you're going to have depth. Depth, I'm actually going to give to the Denver Nuggets because they got a lot of young players that I like, okay? Michael Porter Jr. needs to play in the series, though. If you want a good chance to win some games, you got to play Michael Porter Jr. Have him put the offensive pressure on a guy like Kawhi so he could shoot threes because Michael Porter Jr. can let that thing go, boy. He could shoot threes. So you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to do that. All right? My prediction. Even though I like Denver Nuggets' young squad, I got them losing in 5. I think this goes 4-1 Clippers. Clippers knock this team out in 5 games. Prince Sports out. Peace.